Thank you and good morning. C-, sorry. Happy St. Patrick's Day and Sláinte to all of those of Irish descent and everybody else who wants to be. Since today is St. Paddy's Day, I thought it was especially appropriate that Don Huey announce that Sun and Fun is going green. So, all right, Don. There's a couple of reminders that I wanted to share with you regarding activities that are taking place the week of Sun and Fun at the Florida Air Museum. You are all invited to participate. We'd love to have you. First of all, Lights mentioned the Piedmont Hangar Aerospace and Technology Lab is having a ribbon cutting on Wednesday, March 28th at 5 p.m. Beautiful facility. If you have not had a chance to see it, if you have time today, swing by. It's absolutely gorgeous. But do please join us on March 28th at 5 p.m. That same night, the Florida Air Museum is having a major fundraiser. Used to be called Pre-Flight Night. It is now named the Eagle Flight Gala. It gets underway at 5:30 p.m. with a silent auction in the Florida Air Museum. And then at 7 p.m., we will have a dinner that will be followed by a program and a live auction featuring our own John Lights Leanhouse as our auctioneer. So I think that's worth the price of admission right there. So I invite you all to join us. Also, the Florida Air Museum Member Mingle will take place on Friday, March 30th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. right before the night air show. We'll have a brief program at 6:15 p.m. Along with our board chairman, Pat Hill. And then we also have Florida Air Museum forums that are taking place all week, Tuesday through Saturday, from 10 a.m., at 10 a.m., 11 a.m., and 1 p.m. These are not in any way intended to replace the terrific forums that Bob Curtis and Kenny Wise and Lyle Flagg have been doing for years. These deepen the footprint and are very specialized, offer air-conditioned comfort and a little larger audience. So we invite you to participate. We'll get all of the topics. We've got Nicole Stott, the NASA astronaut, on Saturday, and just a really wide variety of speakers, so it should be terrific. So again, thank you to all of our volunteers. I wanted to leave you, Robin left you with a scripture. I wanted to leave you with a little Irish toast. There are good ships and there are wood ships, the ships that sail the sea, but the best ships are friendships, and may they always be. Thank you.
Okay, I'm actually here to explain a little bit about radio procedures as they have to do with regular operations and emergency operations. We have a different radio this year. This is a 32-channel radio, okay? It doesn't stop. There's no channel 16 where the channel stops, and that's the emergency channel. So we're gonna have a lot more frequencies on here. So before I get into the emergency thing, what I need to tell you is if you're calling for somebody on the general ops channel and they're not answering you, you might want to kind of go through and see if there's a channel that might pertain to them and go to that channel and call for them. Because we are adding channels for things like food service and IT and VIP operations and that kind of thing in order to get all of the just back and forth conversations that are normally on general ops off of those channels. So again, if you're looking for somebody and they're not answering and you're used to getting them on airside air or airside ground or general ops, look for them and see if they have a frequency that's dedicated to them. This is they're all gonna have LED screens on them, so you're gonna need to get used to looking for the different channels if you call it a lot of different people on a lot of different channels. Okay, I've had a lot of questions from people wanting to know what color radio that they need to order, and this little tab signifies this is a yellow radio. However, after this year, that's not going to mean anything because the channels, radios having so many different frequencies available, we are going to be stepping away from the colored channel requirement. So from now on, after this year, you're just going to order a radio and we're going to take it from there. You're going to have the channels that you need on there Most of you are going to have all the channels. There's just going to be a few radios that are going to have some additional channels on them, but very few of those. So everybody's going to have access to all the channels. Okay, getting to the emergency part of this program. This radio, like I said before, does not have a channel 16 on it. If you are witness and need to report a emergency, a red bird, which is what? Does anybody know what a red bird is? Okay, a red bird is an aircraft-only incident. Don't call a red bird for any other kind of emergency. A red bird is only if we have some type of incident with an aircraft. If you are the person reporting that incident, you need to, there is a P1 and P2 button on the front of this radio. The P1 button is going to be programmed to be the emergency channel. You will hold this, let me turn this radio on. You will hold this button in until it beeps. Make your call. Key your mic, remain calm, take a breath, and report your issue. Report the emergency. Give them the detail of what's going on. Give them the location. We had a mock disaster drill here a couple of weeks ago. I happened to be the one finding the incident. It was not real fun because I found out the things that I didn't know. You need to stay calm, report specifically what is going on, where it is, and give as much information to the emergency personnel as you can. Stay on that channel in case they have additional questions. Once the team shows up and they take over the site, then you can move back to the channel, report to the staff liaison what's going on so they can then get to lights if no one else has gotten to him at that point. So after you've done that, to get off of the emergency channel, all you have to do is turn the channel back to the channel that you want to be on. So P1, hold it down till it beeps, talk clear, key your mic, remain relaxed. If someone's actually talking on the channel, please don't talk over them, but get in there and get the emergency reported. Okay, if it's an aircraft incident, it's red bird. If it's another type of an emergency, a medical emergency, a weather emergency, please state what type of emergency it is. Please do not forget to report the location of the incident. It's very, very important. If there are multiple people involved in the incident, you need to try to give them a head count as to how many people might be involved. That determines the amount of emergency equipment and personnel that report to the incident. Please be very, very clear on this. We had a little breakdown last year because we weren't clear on our emergency procedures. We are trying to do a better job. We want our guests to know what's going on. We want you to be safe. We want you to know what's going on, so it's very important to follow these procedures. The volunteer handbook, I've touched on a lot of this in the volunteer handbook, so read that. If you've got questions, please contact one of us on staff and we can be able to share with you what it is that you need to do if we're not clear on that information. So anybody got any questions about this? Okay. It would be the dispatch for the ERT team, and they have all of the heads of the different LPD, ERT, all of them are kind of all together there, and then they dispatch what is needed for a particular type of incident.